Good morning, no, good afternoon, everyone. It is 12:10 Central Time. Hello. Kind of felt like I needed to come on this morning, like I had no choice. And I know a lot of you were not expecting this, so you're not expecting to see me. Hey, y'all ain't right. Okay. So again, pardon that. This equipment, hold on, there does not belong to me. That's not my mess. I have a young man who was my intern and is like a nephew to me. Basically, I'm his mentor. He's my mentee, and I adore him. And he is house sitting for me. I am leaving on Tuesday for a month-long trip to South America. Oh, I'm so glad to get out of this hellscape we're calling the United States. That's all I can do is deep breathe, y'all. Hey, Nene. Good morning. Good afternoon to me. I am so upset about this flooding in, I guess you would call it like central Texas-ish. It's not all the way south, just north of San Antonio, kind of northwest of San Antonio. I can't tell you how many times I have tubed the Guadalupe River. And here we call it the Guadalupe, just by the way, like anyone who's saying Guadalupe is that they're not from here. We call it the Guadalupe. When I moved here, I was so confused the way people speak Spanish here. Like there's this road in Austin called Manchaca. These people call it Manchac, okay? So they're telling me turn on Manchac. Okay, when I think Manchac, I think Manshak, Manchac. No, it's Manchaca, Manchaca. Okay, they call it Guadalupe, like Guada, and then Loop, not Guadalupe, nothing. No, it's not how we talk in Texas, y'all. I have tubed the Guadalupe so many times. I can't even tell you. Like in law school, we used to go up there. It's not far from where I went to law school. We used to go tube the river. We had so much fun. We have an epidemic in the United States. It's a voting epidemic. Hello, Audrey. I have been watching Love Island USA. I don't know if you guys watch it. I love trashy TV. Okay, so I'm watching Love Island USA. And last week, America was able to vote. And for some reason, America voted off all the Casa girls, kept all the OGs who were acting a fool. Okay, acting a fool. America may no longer vote. Y'all, I am done with your voting. In 2016, you did it bad. You did it again here in 2024. Y'all did it wrong for Love Island. No. As if that wasn't bad enough, then as a direct traceable, point-to-point traceable consequence of defunding NOAA and OAA and the National Weather Service, 23 little girls were swept away at night. All of that could have been avoided. If that camp had an understanding of what was actually coming, they would have cleared those girls. They would have moved everyone to safety. That camp has over 700 kids at it at a time. That camp has been there for years. They know what to do. If they had been warned, they would have saved the little girls. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. And it reminds me of a little incident called Uvalde, where this fucking crazed fuck went into an elementary school and shot it up, and the elementary school cop ran, and the only hero was a mom who ran into a classroom and retrieved 2 kids during active gunfire. And the adults just sat around and let this happen. What has our country come to? I've just been so pissed all day. It has taken me hours, and I'm talking hours, to calm down enough to even talk about this because I am so upset. I've donated to the Red Cross. I donated to a local hill country group that is taking care of things. I highly recommend, if you have the funds to do it, please, please help. If you're in Central Texas and you have the equipment to help, please help. Please, please help. I am so sick of just children dying in mass. Like, so let me get this straight. A woman can't decide whether or not to carry a fetus full term. But if she makes the decision, or no, I'm sorry, she's forced to, she has to bring that child to life. We're going to cut SNAP, we're going to cut Medicaid, we're going to cut the National Weather Service, and we're going to let little girls live their lives in fucking floods. You are not a pro-life. Those are not pro-life. Those are pro-control. That's pro-control. You don't give a shit about life. If any of those people gave two shits about life, they would have more care headed our way than HEB. Do you guys know what HEB is? HEB is a local grocery store. It's a very Texas. I would say it's like Publix is to Florida, HEB is to Texas, okay? Except that HEB happens to be equipped with a better, faster, more accurate at prediction, more accurate at actually following through on help disaster response team than FEMA. Okay, I've read articles about this. They are more prepared for disaster than FEMA. Their trucks are already on the way. HEB is already on the way. But you know who's not? You know who's not on the way? The Marines that are out at ICE protests. A protest is perfectly legal. You get Marines out there like this, and you don't send anyone to help our... Texas is the 5th largest economy in the world, y'all. Only California is bigger in our country. And you're just going to let... Oh, okay. I'm pissed, y'all. I am pissed. I don't know if you can tell, but this is the Texas flag, y'all. Okay? I am a proud American. I am a proud Texan, and I am mad as hell. I want those little girls back. I want those families. There were families at RV parks talking, grandparents taking their grandkids on vacation, talking mom, dad, dog, kids out on a little trip, hanging out on the side of the river, chilling, getting ready for 4th of July celebrations. We are talking homes. People were in homes, and their homes got swept away. My understanding is when the National Weather Service did issue its warning, it was after the mass flooding. I didn't want to be too mad when I came on here. I wanted to calm down. Now I'm talking about it. I'm getting more angry. I'm angry about the Diddy results. The Diddy verdict tells us that men hate women. Okay, a jury of 8 men and 4 women decided he didn't do that stuff when we saw the evidence that he did. Again and again, over and over, we see in this country that women are not valued. Now, that's an aside, although it was a house full of little girls, cabin full of girls. Now I'm getting hot. I mean, like, not even 10 minutes, and I'm so pissed. I'm getting hot, y'all. Literally getting hot. This shit makes me so. We have a complete moron for a governor. Okay, complete moron. We have a lieutenant governor that's a criminal. We being Texas, I'm talking about Texas here. A lieutenant governor that's a criminal. We have Senator Ted Cruz who just jumped ship. I'm pretty sure he's in Cancun right now because Lord knows he ain't in Texas. Lord knows he's not at the Hill Country area where this happened. Lord knows he isn't looking for little babies. It literally makes me sick. Like in the past, like growing up, if something like this happened, the president, the senators, everybody were there like this, yo. They got there so fast. None of that. No, Nene, I think the Diddy stuff was bias. I just don't trust. Hey, Javonda, I don't know. I don't see the finance bros that made up that jury taking what Diddy did seriously. I see those finance bros being completely offended by women wanting money. Okay. But I don't see them understanding that it's crime. I just brought up, I never want you to forget Brock. Of course, I never want you to forget. And then I forgot his name. Girl, he flew those women to other places and effed them. That's trafficking, ma'am. He paid Jane Doe. She was a full-time paid prostitute and flew her around and did her. That is trafficking, my friend. That is trafficking. You just take them across state lines for sex. If you're not two fully consenting adults, if one of you is being paid, one of you is a minor, you're not two, like a regular couple just meeting in Miami for some fun or something, then you're trafficking. I'm sorry, the law is very broad. The fact that they didn't find him on RICO, you guys, RICO doesn't even take beyond a reasonable doubt. Just like existing is a RICO charge. So that no, I don't think they followed the law at all. At all. Okay, so just want you to be reminded of a young man named Brock Turner. Brock Turner served 3 months for the raping of an unconscious woman, and the judge specifically said that he did not want to ruin Brock's life. So I like to remind you, Brock Turner exists out there. Okay? Nene, they wanted to go is exactly the type of thing that the predator said. Oh, she was wearing a short skirt. She was asking for it. No, we don't victim blame. If you're getting paid for sex and they take you across state lines, you have been effectively trafficked. You could make an argument if you flew from LA to Miami to make a porno, like if you're a porn star, that you have been trafficked. The law is pretty loose there, girl. They met the standard. And the finance bros don't like women that are, using their body for money. They like to pay them. They have wives like that at home, but no, it's not okay for you to actually do it. So I want you to talk about Brock Turner. I want to remind everyone of Brock Turner because the judge didn't want to ruin his life, but his victim, he took her. He put himself inside of her without her permission. Her life is ruined effectively. Like she's never going to go out into the world and have like normal relationships and a happy life, right? Like she is going to have years of trauma associated with this. That's how we value female life in this country. Again and again and again and again and again and again. It's just over and over. And then on top of all of that, 23 little girls float the fuck away because we don't have a National Weather Service anymore. It's fucking despicable, y'all. I can only laugh because it makes me so angry. Let's laugh or cry at this point. I've already cried, of course. Can you imagine sending your little baby away to sleepaway camp? To Bible sleepaway camp? And then this happens? I mean, I feel helpless. None of these are my children, and I feel helpless because I'm in Dallas and they're down there, and there's literally nothing I can do but send money. I feel completely helpless. Imagine if they're your other parent. I saw some parent was in France. Mom and dad are in France. Because you know, you drop your kid at sleepaway camp and you then go on your like sex vacation. Now, see, that's not trafficking, Nene, because that's a married couple, right? They're not. Well, technically, a marriage is the compensating of each other for time and services, but we don't look at that way under the law, although that's really what it breaks down to. So, as a married couple, they can go to Nice, they can do whatever. What they can't do is hire a prostitute and take her with them. That's trafficking. Cassie was trafficked, period, end of story. And not just trafficked, groomed. Do I think the prosecutors mischarged it? Yeah, I think there were a lot of, not the lesser included in terms of the attempt. Like when they dropped the attempt things, that made a lot of sense. But there were a lot of laws that were broken that I think they just kind of jumped over. I also think the part of the reason they lost is because there wasn't a male prosecutor. Having the all-girl team. Men don't like women's voices. Okay, like we trigger them. We remind them of their mother when they're upset, when she was upset, and it deeply triggers them. Boys do not like seeing their mothers upset. Okay, they don't like hearing their mothers upset. They don't like feeling their mothers upset. So when women are upset, they are triggered. When they hear our voices, especially if we're upset, it triggers them. It's deep in their little brains. It's deep in all of our brains. These kind of things. Okay. Therefore, when you're doing a sex crime like this, you need men on the team to legitimize it. Okay. It becomes legitimate when you hear a male voice that says that isn't okay. Right? If your mom says it's not okay, fuck that bitch, what's she know? But when your dad walks in the room and says, no, that's not okay, then it has this more legitimacy to you. Okay. These are things they should know about as prosecutors. These are things they should know about as people who try juries. You know, they need to know how to assess people, how to stereotype. Am I stereotyping? Goddamn right I am. Part of my job. You have to make an assessment. The best way to make assessments is through stereotypes, if I'm going to be honest, right? And stereotypes exist for a reason. You don't think my middle-aged white ass has gone Karen on anyone? Of course I have. I'm a middle-aged white lady. Like, you don't think white lady tears, that term came from reality, bro? Like it does. So while we don't all fit in all stereotypes, as a jurist, as an advocate who is in there choosing a jury, it is in fact my job, based off their answers to these questions and what they're wearing and their facial expressions, to determine like who they are and if they'll rule in my favor, right? And another piece of that is to determine, as a woman lawyer, do I need a male at the table with me? That's a legitimate question. I can't tell you how excited I am for my son to be a lawyer so that I can have a man say, oh, no, she's right. And then men go, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, thanks, Noah. This is every day. This is every day of my life in this practice of law, y'all. And so like it is, I have a sister who ran a marketing business and she had Kevin at marketingbusiness.com as an email. And when customers would argue with her, she would just have Kevin pipe in. And then Kevin would say, no, it's this. And then the customer would go, oh, okay, I'm sorry, Kevin. We worked it out, right? Like that's, I don't love it, but it's a fact of life. Okay. And so that whole prosecution, it lacked testosterone. It really seemed like girls beating up on a boy, on a rich guy. It seemed like women changing their mind. And I feel like part of that could have been fixed if they had a male prosecutor. Even just like one dude on the team. That dude could have done the closing. And the closing could have been like, hey, if Cassie was your sister or your niece or your cousin or your mother, you wouldn't be cool with that, would you? And from dude to dude, they'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, dude, right. But from woman to woman, you know, from a woman to them, they're like, well, I don't care what happens to you. But we could see that when we saw the 23 little girls float down the fucking river because we don't have a National Weather Service anymore. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, my God. Just so you know, without a national weather, oh, you guys hear that scratching? That's my baby. Hold on. That's my baby. Timmy, say hi. Say get into hurricane season, what are we going to do without National Weather Service? Florida, just all of y'all are goners. That's how I say it. Tawana, you might as well just pack up and leave because there's no more weather service to give you a warning ahead of time. Like, what? We have entire segments of country that need weather warning systems. I'm trying to think of a state that doesn't need a weather warning system. All right, I grew up in Arizona. I can tell you for a fact we get flash flooding. For a fact. It only happens in like August, but there's flash flooding, so they need a weather service. Okay, so that takes away the driest, hottest state. I'm trying to think, maybe does New Mexico get weather? So maybe we could do without the National Weather Service in New Mexico, but in Texas, we're in Tornado Alley. And in Kansas and all the tornado alleys, so we need warnings. Florida, y'all get them hurricanes, you need warnings. We get the hurricanes, we need them. Alabama, Louisiana, that whole shoreline, y'all need warnings. This feels like some 1832 shit to me, really. I feel like in 1832, if the river was going to flood, no one knew that, and then that just happened, and then people died, and then you read it about, like, you read about it 4 weeks later in a newspaper because news took forever to get anywhere. I feel like in 1836, what happened on the Guadalupe River 2 days ago is acceptable. But last I checked, oh, yeah, it's 2025. Hey, Nettie. The Texas flood a racial issue? Are you kidding me? Most of those kids were white. How is that a racial? First of all, let me just tell you something about race in Texas, okay? Before Texas was the beautiful state that it is, okay, right there. It was a beautiful nation state, okay? It was before. Okay, first Texas was part of Mexico, okay, and then all these criminals from Tennessee came here, like Sam Houston and shit, and they were like, no hablo, and so they were like, we don't want to be part of Mexico. And so for 9 years, we stood as our own republic. 9 glorious years. And that's why the capital of Texas is the only building in America, only Capitol building in America that is larger than the one in DC. Because we were our own country first, so we get to leave it that way. Ha ha ha. So we had all these Tennessee criminals coming here. Then they were like, me gusta enchiladas, pero no hablo, right? So we became Texas the country. Then America, the United States, was doing this westward expansion stuff. And the Texans and the Mexicans started kind of fighting. So here's the thing, though. Texas was Mexico. So it was Mexicans, natives. There's native Mexicans, right? There's like native people to the land. And then a bunch of criminals from Tennessee who decided to come on over, okay? That was it. So we are a brown state. We've always been brown. There are boys that look like Chad. Like they have the boat shoe and the pop collar and they're like white and curly hair and stuff. And their last name's Garcia. That is very common here. Like we, in terms of like states and race, our first race was Hispanic. So, and before that was Native. So, and then in the grossest thing, the grossest piece of fucking American history that exists, the Texans decided not to tell the black folks about the 14th, 15th, and 16th Amendment. And that's why we have the holiday Juneteenth, because finally, 2 years later, on June 19th, they were told. So no, it couldn't be a race issue because we have all the races here. We are all one. We're Texans. And I will say that no matter what color you are in Texas, we are Texans. Okay. Some of them, they hate each other, whatever, but we still Texas. We still have Texas flag tattoos. We're still proud. We're still carrying that with weight. and we will always help our fellow Texans. Okay. But here's the thing, God does not see color. So when he lets down like 18 metric tons of water onto a river, that's not because of no color. Okay. He's why? If we want to talk about the true issue is that Texans voted for this. I didn't, but a lot of my Texas peers did. That's you get what you vote for. That's America. You get what you vote for. And a lot of folks voted for this because of the price of eggs. After Texas became part of the United States, we had a very large influx of like German and Czech people. A lot of people would hit the Oregon Trail and then they'd get to Texas and I think I've gone far enough. And I'm with them on that. I'm not trying to take a damn covered wagon. I don't even want to take an airplane from New York to Oregon, Portland or something. No. Let alone a covered wagon. Hell no. I played Oregon Trail as a child, y'all. That is not for me. I'm with the Germans on that. They're like, this looks nice. We'll stay here. Right there with you guys. Oh, the natives around here don't kill us. They're not as mad at us being here, so we'll chill here. I get that. Plus, the food is great here. So, in fact, I would argue the Germans are part of the reason food. We have really great German and Czech food, which is a lot of people don't know. Only some people saying if they were black, then it wouldn't be a big deal. I think I understand what you're trying to say. Like if the little girls were black girls, nobody would be upset. I don't believe that. That's not a Texas thing. Do you guys remember Hurricane Rita and like Harvey? Like we've had all these hurricanes in Houston. And what the common consistent behavior is, no matter where you are in Texas, you pack up your boat and you go help. That is the state of Texas. We were a republic for 9 years, you guys. We were our own fucking country, right? Like we have this love of our state that other states don't really have because you weren't a country for 9 years all on your own. And that's it. Even before that, we were part of the beautiful country of Mexico. So, at the Mexican-American War, the Americans actually won. And I've never been more upset than when I heard this. They gave back Mexico to the Mexicans. We could have had Tulum. We could have had Cancun. We could have had, delicious food throughout. I don't understand why we gave that shit back. It is a beautiful country. And if we had kept it, we probably wouldn't have like the same cartel issue because it would be part of our country. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, y'all. And then they didn't keep enough of it, so they had to buy some of it from Santa Ana. I don't know. The people who lead our country have always just been not really making good decisions. Maybe on the race thing, I do want to say this. I want everyone who ever watches my channel to know that race is a dog whistle. It is a deflector. It is not the reality. Early on in this country's history, the leaders saw that white folks, really poor white folks, empathized and got along with black folks and slaves. All right. And then they started creating this dialogue about, white people are superior, which quite frankly makes no sense because we sunburn. Okay. So we're out here like bright freaking red. Like just based off eyeballing it, I would say we would be less superior because we're more fragile. We can't hang out in the sun. But I wasn't there to make these weird ass stories. So they started using that story as a way to get the whites and blacks to not come together, because if all of us came together, if all of the regular, the 99%, not the 1%, if the 99% came together, we would squash the 1%. And that is American history. They just try to oppress the 99 so that the 1 can continue to 1. We've got this big, beautiful bill that just got passed, taking away all kinds of Medicare, taking away all kinds of food stamps. So all those children, you claim you're so worried about all those lives that matter. There's your answer. The other day, someone came on my comments and said that they will never watch my liberal channel again. And I, first of all, was really thankful, because if you're so close-minded that you can't hear someone else's point of view without getting upset, then we don't belong. Like, it's not a match between you and me, okay? The only thing I'm closed-minded about is the black letter of the law. Here's what the law says. It's words, it's black and white, it's pretty easy, all right? Otherwise, if you guys have some kind of crazy, like, hey, what about this? And I never thought about that. Like, that will, I'm open. I'll change my mind. Being vitriol and closed off to other people's point of view is part of the reason we're in this situation now. I remember after 9/11, everyone was like, America, America. We were brethren. We were loving each other. In the House and Congress, they cooperated. Literally, they would cooperate. And shit actually got done. That is 100% no longer the case. 100% no longer the case. All right. I think I'm done ranting. 32 minutes of me popping up. I hate it here, guys. I hate it. I am leaving for South America on Tuesday so that I can learn to be fluent in Spanish. Hablo poquito, entiendo mucho. So I want to hablo mucho, right? So I'm going away, and I couldn't be happier to get out of the country for a month and just to get away from the insanity. I was talking to Devonda, and she suggested that I document my travels. So I am going to do that. I'm going to document my travels. I'll vlog. I'll travel vlog. I can't promise that it's going to be interesting or good, but I'll do it. Fuck it. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Uh-oh. What? Nene was in a video? Okay, girl. Okay. Nene, are you a video girl? You remember in the 90s, like, being a video girl was like, oh, she was in so-and-so's video. Like, that was, you made it. Is that you? I'm so excited for you. Girl, yes! Yes! Our girl made it! Our girl made it! She's a video girl! That's fucking awesome, Nene. I saw that our boy, fuck, I forgot his name, released an album. God, why did I just forget his name? One of the YSL kids. Doug's client. Fuck, where did his name go? That's me looking for his name. I can't remember. Anyhow, Doug's client. He just made a new video. So good for him. Good for everyone that's out. Stay out of crime and shit. It's like, yeah, Gotti. That's it. Thank you, Day. God, like, that word just totally left me. Don't do crime, guys. It's not worth it. Oh, if you're bored today and you want to watch a really good show, I just finished Department Q. You're even that video! Oh my God, send it to me on Instagram. I'm totally gonna watch it. I'm so excited for you! That's my girl. That's my girl. I can't wait to share it and be like, I know her. I know her. Also, I would typically not go to Florida because I'm mad at them for building concentration camps, but I am still going to go for the Melly case, Stefan Stearns, the sicko, and to meet with my friend's grandma and explain to her why to put her stuff into trust. So, Florida is on for sure. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great weekend. I'll probably see you Tuesday when I start traveling.